Good morning, Pershore Abbey community. I hope everybody is doing well. I know that many of you today will be busily getting ready for a little football match that's happening later on and hoping and no doubt praying that England will win, so that in many years to come, when people say to you, "Where were you on the 7th of July 2021 when England beat Denmark?" you'll be able to say that you were watching the match and having a fantastic time. And that's one of the strange things, isn't it, about life, that we do remember where we were on really important dates. I'm sure that you've got lots of days that you carry in your memory, whether they're happy memories or whether they're challenging and difficult ones. It's the remembering of these events and occasions which somehow helps us to share what we are as individuals, as a community, and as a nation. So today, on the 7th of July, I'm always taken back to another 7th of July. In 2005, on the 7th of July in the morning, the most terrible suicide bombing attacks happened in London. Perhaps you remember them. Perhaps you remember exactly where you were when you heard that 4 bombs had gone off in central London, killing 52 innocent people who were just going to work, just going about their business. Perhaps you will remember exactly where you were when you heard that hundreds of people had been injured in those attacks and many, many more deeply traumatised and upset. I'll never forget the 7th of July because I was coming back from a primary school assembly full of joy and excitement, having been with the children, and someone stopped me in town and said, "Claire, have you heard the news?" And I said, "Oh yes, it's amazing. London's got the Olympics. It's wonderful." And then they said, "No, go home, put the telly on. There's been these most atrocious attacks." And I, like so many of us, was lost for words. I could not believe what had happened. Such a contrast from the day before. So I always remember the 7th of July 2005, and I'm sure that many of you do too. And the remembering is really important. It helps us to stand in solidarity with all those who lost a loved one or a friend, helps us to stand in solidarity with all those who were injured and still carry their injuries today, helps us to stand in solidarity with all those who were deeply traumatised by what they witnessed in London. And by remembering, we're also saying that we love you, that we're reaching out to you and hoping that our remembering eases the pain of such a terrible, terrible day. Whatever we're doing today, I hope that we have a little bit of space just to stop and remember those events of the 7th of July 2005, and in that moment to give thanks for all that we have, all that gives us life, all that brings us joy. Also remembering those things which are challenging for us, somehow offering them to God, who knows all things and sees all things and remembers all, remembers every single event in our lives, remembers each and every one of us. And we also pray today that we may go about our lives in safety and security, surrounded by a loving community. Our prayer today has been written by John Philip Newell and helps us to remember. It is when we are still that we know. It is when we listen that we hear. It is when we remember that we see your light, O God. From your stillness we come. With your sound all life quivers with being. From you the light of this moment shines. Grant us to remember you at the heart of each moment. Grant us to remember. Amen.